It's a beautiful Vedanta tale. Three guys, they wanted to go to the neighboring village because there was a fete, like a mela. They all wanted to go and attend. So they naturally dressed up and they wore some very good clothes. Now, as they were going through, villages to villages, they have to go through a jungle. As they were going through the jungle, some dacoits caught them. And dacoits looked at their clothes, and they had all worn new clothes. The dacoits say, "You take out the clothes and give it to me." The first guy was very nice, tall, hefty, handsome looking, and he took care of your clothes very well. And it was nice, tight fitting, and he loved his clothes. Taking out for him was very difficult. He was struggling and struggling and struggling, and hearted not wanting to give it. The second guy, he was also tall and hefty. His clothes were also nice, but he was not that bothered about that. He maintained his clothes, okay, good, clean, but he was not so attached to the clothes. For him, taking it out and giving it was not so difficult. The other guy, the third guy, he was also wearing a very beautiful new clothes, but he was least attached to it. He had taken care, but he was absolutely not attached. For him to take out that cloth and give it to the dacoit, he just took it out, gave it, and he said, "Now what?" The dacoit said, "Okay, go." Now who are these three guys? And what is the metaphor of the story? We all are very scared of death. Nobody wants to die. And everybody wants to continue to live in this same body. As per Vedanta, the changing clothes is a simile of that of the wearing a dress. You just take out your dress, go into it. Because you are not your mind, you are not your body. Remember, we talked about it, Vedanta understanding. We are not our body, we are not our mind. Now, is it just something that we have to mug it up and learn it, and how do I understand? After all, I am this body. So notice, you go off to sleep. You left your body and you're dreaming. Who is dreaming? As per the Western science current and the ancient Vedanta, it is your mind which is dreaming. Now, you go off to deep sleep. Your dream state is gone. And you don't even remember anything. When you wake up, you feel so nice and fresh. What happened? Your mind went into a seed state. Almost no mind state. And now, there is another state. You have your awakened state, dream state, deep sleep state, and the fourth stage is called Turiya state as per Vedanta, which is absolute silence, absolutely calm. There is no disturbance at all. And that is also the sublime state from where your deep sleep state comes up, and from where comes the dream state comes up, and from where the awakened state comes up. These are the four stages in which you notice your mind and body, there are different stages staying with you. And who's you? you are in that fourth stage. You're not any one of these three stages. They're just passing through that. We have talked about understanding. You remember the waves and the ocean, the bubble and the froth and the water. So the water is the essence. Remember the clay in the pot? Everywhere there is clay. So where is the pot? A child will say, this is not pot, this is just a body, this is just a shape, it's just a name, you give it a pot. Instead of pot you can call it clot, that is also okay, depends on what you call it. It's just the name given to a form. You see it everywhere, it is only the clay. So everywhere there is, nothing is possible in this universe without the supreme presence of that oneness, which is the supreme consciousness, which is everywhere. The moment you get connected to it, you are not like the first guy or the second guy, you are like the third guy going for the mailer. That you are not attached. So what happens to you? You become fearless. And the moment you are fearless, you're not afraid of death. It's just another phenomenon. And you are fully aware. And you just trance it. Buddha was about to leave his body, 82 years of age. So his favorite disciple, Ananda, was told 5 days before that, and Ananda was every day going on to the monastery and sitting in silence. Buddha used to call him every day. Eventually the last day he said, this is the day, and Ananda was crying. So Buddha called him and he said, even you are crying? Then what teaching have I given you? He said, I'm not going to be dead. I am going to be there. I am the consciousness. I am the awakened one. I am not this body. And don't make any body statue for me when I die. This was his last words. Don't make any statue of me. Have you noticed? Can you tell me one of your house where you don't have a Buddha? Everybody's got Buddha in the world today. Almost everywhere. So notice, the fear of death comes from ignorance. You don't know what is it. Because you don't know, you're afraid. Like you're going from here, nice and light, you can see everything. So if you walk into a room which is dark and you don't know where the light switch is, you're looking around, you're hesitant to go in, and somebody says, come on, go inside, and you say, wait. Why? Because you're ignorant about what's inside. So now, what is happening? Remember that rope and the snake? These are all Vedanta tales for you to understand. You are that. You are not this body. Yes, you have to take care of this body. Take care of this temple, in which that supreme consciousness is present. In every part of your body. In any part, if you touch it, you don't know that somebody is touching you. And you have 5 other that consciousness around you. So that's how when somebody comes and sits next to you, you immediately know. And if you shift your place a little bit, because you're conscious all the time. Now what happens? What is the understanding? Why are we talking about it? Why is everybody so frightened about coronavirus? Because firstly, there is a tremendous kind of a hype played up by the media. And why are they doing it? They have to create stories, 1. 2, maybe somebody's pumping in money to them and they wanted to do that. For all you know, tomorrow there might be a COVID 2020 mask will come up in the market and everybody will go to bar. If you wear that mask, you will have no coronavirus. Maybe somebody is going to do that. Maybe there is a special medicine capsule is going to come up and say, take One sip of that or one capsule and you'll be alright. We don't know what is it. But there is absolute ignorance. You know, the death mortality rate. Yesterday we had a meeting with and we're going to make out a letter. We'll send it off to everyone, including you, so that you're fully aware. Letter is ready, just a little touch up. You'll be amazed, the entire study, right, for the last, I think it is about 400 or 500 years of study that I have taken it out. And the mortality rate of various of these viruses, etc. You'll be surprised, coronavirus is right at the bottom. It's only 3% of the mortality rate. Others are going up to as much as 100%, like HIV. If somebody caught it, it is 100% death because of the HIV. Tuberculosis. I'm forgetting the figure, I think it is around 30% or something. And you'll be amazed to hear, when I was talking to a doctor about this, and I said, but tuberculosis is gone, isn't it? He said, no, we have so many cases. But you see, you don't even know, I don't even know. We are all well-traveled, well-learned, well-read people, no? I'm not even aware, but I'm aware of coronavirus. Why? Because everybody's talking about coronavirus. This letter has been particularly made for a father who has written it to me very kindly, respectfully. Said, sir, we know you all are doing very good work. And I know everything is nice and good. But sir, whatever it is, I don't want to send my token. I said, okay. So if somebody doesn't want to, whether there is coronavirus or no coronavirus, they don't want to send it, it's their choice, isn't it? Even I can't say anything. But you might be surprised, but I read out the letter to the heads and the coordinator and Shah the man. I'm saying to him, the line of actions that you're doing, I strongly recommend against it. It is not correct. Now just think, I'm saying it is not correct. I could be scared and say, no, I shouldn't say. What if what happened? Then they will come and tell me, you are guilty. Hey, come on. Why should you think of that? There are innumerable number of times when I've told the parent that this champion is going to become a great kid. He will. Yesterday we had one boy. Jayamam will have to handle with Vishwajit sir. He's coming in MRP4 from United States. He's been there, I think, from birth onwards, or maybe 6, 7, 8 years. So he's an American kid. That's a way of life. What's the way of life? Everything is out there. What is out there? In the shop, in the shopping mall. It is there in the car, it is there in the mobile, it is there in the subways, it is there in the KFC, and it is there in the party, it is there in the drink shop. It's out there. It's not in here. I was quite surprised. He's finished 9th standard. I went to the paper. His science paper, his Hindi paper is 0. I can understand that. But I find it, this should have been taken care if there were the plans of coming in, that some of that language should have gone into him. However, I can understand that. But I can't understand why the entire cardiovascular questions, those of you not science, it is on the heart and things like that. It's not taken up by him. That is not understandable. English is okay type. Maths is slightly better. I told him yesterday, you just watch this, Moki is going to become a great champion. And I asked him, I talked to him, I said, listen, we are going to transfer you. But I want you to come and play. I can't play tennis with you if you're not going to hold the racket. Can we do that? So you have to play. If you're ready to play, and he seemed to be very keen. So we have a nice challenging task in which we have to take up and give this champion another opportunity to become good. So, one mother asked me, not this mother, some other mother, you say he's going to become a champion. I said, yes, he's going to be brilliant. You can't even imagine. He said, will you give it to me in writing? I said, right now, on a stamp paper. I have no doubts. You have doubts. So we all, have you noticed, those who are frightened and fearful of dying and death and infection, the more you are fearful of it, the more you are exposing yourself to it. You know, the last time came swine flu, recollect? We got everybody protected by the vaccination in the whole school. Shada ma'am came to know that I am not taking. She kept asking me, are you taking? I said, no, I am not taking. Shada ma'am said, I'll also not take. The both of us didn't take. Hey, were we attacked with swine flu? No, it is that perfection of protection is all around you. All you have to do is just tap into it. Become aware. Why are we talking about that you are not this mind and the body? All we need is you need to be aware. Just know. All you have to do, know. There is a Uttarakhand one monk, very wise monk, speaks only in Hindi. So a disciple came and liked his ways and wanted to become a monk. See, he's in the journey, brahmachari now. He left his family and he became his disciple and wanting to be. So one day he comes, his face is not very good. Like I think most of the people around today, not feeling very good because of the so-called coronavirus attack. So the Guru asked him, are you peaceful? He said, yeah, sometimes I am not peaceful. He asked him second day, are you okay now? Are you peaceful? He said, yes, I am, but sometimes I am not. It happens to you and me, no? Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are not happy, sometimes we are blissful, everything is nice, and immediately thereafter we are not. So the Guru looked at him. He said, how can it be? Sometimes you are happy and sometimes you are not happy. How can it be? And then he said it in Hindi. कभी गाय कभी गधे ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? अरे भाई आप अगर है तो गाय है या आप गधे हैं? क्या है आप? So this is the message for you and me. We are infinite, we are supreme. Yes, we have to pass through this, but be aware. You are that consciousness. Journey to become aware. All you have to do, start understanding it, start questioning it, start saying. That's why I keep asking him, have you got any questions? Until unless you have questions, you will not think more on it. You will just listen to it and it will go out this way. You might even go and say, nice talk. And that's it. When you ask a question in the class, in your student days or today when you do that, or the topic that you're going to teach them, if you know that you've got 5, 6, 10 children are going to ask you a question, you're also going to learn the questions. And the moment you do that, you notice you become better learned on them. So the fear is something which is obstructing, and that is because of the ignorance. I do not know why and how, must have done some great work. Right from childhood, I was absolutely fearless. I mean, like a donkey I was fearless. Like, have you noticed the babies? You've seen the baby's day out? Yeah? The baby is going on and going into the swimming pool and falling down in the swimming pool. Baby is not bothered. Something like that. I was 4, 5, 6 years of age. I was swimming. I didn't know very much swimming, but I could float. Meaning I was not in danger of drowning. My younger brother was also swimming. There was nobody else with us. 4 year, 2 year. In the river Ganges. And the current took my younger brother. He also didn't know how to swim. He was just about managing to. And I think something happened. His foot slipped or something. And imagine my mother and the father, they left 2 and a 4-year-old alone in the river. Today will you do that? No way. And brother was shouting and I realized he's gone off about that much. He's gone into the deeper and he's drifting away because of the current. I didn't know how to swim. I started to go towards him somehow and trying to go and catch him. I was also drowning, he was also drowning. And there were lots of, the river Ganges, the boatmen. So one of the boatmen saw it, he jumped into it and he picked both of them. I didn't even feel frightened, shivering, shaking, nothing. Maybe ignorance, absolutely. But I'm happy that I'm ignorant about that fear. When we were a little older, there was it is to be called, Morella might remember, it is to be called Chatpati. It was a Diwali cracker. And you know what was? It is like a chocolate. Exactly like a chocolate. It used to come in strips of paper. And if you take it out and if you just rub it like this, it's very nice. It will keep on cracking fire and you can hold on to it. Till it comes to your finger, then you let go. It's nice fun. Later on they realized it's very poisonous. So they stopped it, banned it. But people knew it's poisonous, so take care. So one child came and told me, you say you can do anything? I said, yeah. Can you eat it? Those chutpudi? I said, yeah, why? Why can't I eat it? But why should I eat it? It's not food. Either I want to see it. If you can eat it, I'll give you those days. Some 4 anna, there was to be a coin 4 anna, 25 paisa. He said, I'll give you that. I said, really? But that was huge lot of money. He was a rich zamindar's son. He's still, by the way, in touch with me. That's Sunit Rakshan. I said, I'll eat it. 5, 6 of them gathered around me and he said, you're going to drop it, throw it off. I said, no, why should I? I told you I'll eat it. So they put it in my hand and I one by one, I ate. 6, 7 of them or whatever number was. It was not too many. It is certainly less than 10. What happened? I drank and after that we went back to the class and I got the money and we said after the break we will go and eat something. I was not even thinking of it. What I am saying, see what happens. That boy got frightened. He ran to the principal and the principal came running. He said, have you eaten it? I said, yeah. Everybody hauled me up, took me to the hospital and kept doing stomach pumping. They put a huge gamla of water to see whether it has come out or not. It didn't come out. Meaning, it must have got mixed with water, came out, they couldn't see it. I don't know what happened. But I know it didn't come out because my mother and father and everybody said, where is it? They have to see it has come out. Maybe it had dissolved. Maybe it got pumped out and washed out because it's supposed to be poison. But see, it didn't concern me at all. I'm telling you today, take precautions, take all what is necessary, don't be a monkey. Somebody came and told me, can you jump from here? That was 2nd story building in the classroom. I said, yeah. And like a monkey, I jumped. I broke my hand. I didn't die. I'm saying, sounds stupid, dumb to you. But I'm saying I'm divinely blessed. I notice I should have been dead at least 10 times today. But I'm not dead. And I believe that once you believe that there is something supreme in you, that you are meant to do something on this earth, on this universe, you will be protected. No one can touch you. This protection, you cannot start talking to the parent. By the way, this is only for you. If you start to talk about it, they'll look at you, they'll say, what a stupid lady, and they'll walk off from there. But this is only for you. What should you tell them? Please tell them, and that letter would suffice. What we are writing, it is pretty clear. Unless you all want to add something more to it, let me know. Every conceivable precautions which is possible, we are taking. 1. 2. For the last 3 days, the Commissioner of Education, his, by the way, nephew is studying in this school, Mr. Solanki. He is in Mbapi 4, I think, no? Mbapi 4. They have 3 days. What actions to be taken? Right from Central Delhi to Maharashtra State, they have realized, they've said, please take precaution. Advisory notices only. No need to close down the school is last night's 8 o'clock evening news from them. No need. Why the parents are so panicky? It is just because of this, that media is kind of taking us through a little hyping up. You don't play into it. Yes, you should not keep your hands dirty. So that's how 150 bottles Shardamam has spread it all around. By the way, they're very expensive. I think if you see the bottle, I think it is written there, 680 rupees or something is the cost of one bottle. Can you imagine? Those of you poor in maths, but you can multiply 680 by 100, no? How much is that? Just think, and add another 50 to that. School has immediately gone and spent it. Utilize it. You will find, be conscious about it. All I'm saying, just become aware. What? You will find, if you're aware, almost every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, you feel like touching 3/4 of your body. One is the ear, the eye, the nostril. You will just feel like doing like this. And you'll feel like doing like this. Down. Those mucous members, the lips, the eye, and the nostril. Don't touch it. If your hands are clean, sure, go ahead. Use a tissue. See that the children, their hands are clean. You don't have to keep on washing their hands like a overworried mother. Don't have to. Have you noticed? Most of these urchins, they're playing in the soil, they're eating that mitti in their mouth. What happens to them? Nothing. I'm not saying that we should be ignorant and like a monkey do anything. Now you're wise, you're educated, take precautions. Make sure things around you are clean and appropriate action should be taken. Do not be paranoid. This letter will give you very simple step. We cannot close down the school just because one father or the mother is paranoid. You and I have taken responsibility today. Isn't it? Can you imagine what will happen? Suppose we close down. Everybody closes down the schools. Children are going to be at home. Mother and the father, one of them, if both are working, one of them will say, I'll stay back at home. They're not going to leave the babies with the maidservant and go off. I think one or two might do that also. But mostly they would like to stay at least one person. Now, what happens to the whole country now? Can you imagine? Reduce efficiency of the work output by 50% straight away. What will happen to the economy? Chinese economy has gone down to dust, and it is to be the best. It is contesting with the American economy at one point in time. So we cannot afford to do that. And third point, if the parents say, just smile and say, ma'am, sir, please have faith. Government of India, the Maharashtra government, there are bodies which are responsible. There is something called Child Protection Right. The whole country is being regulated for the children's right by them. There is health protection for the children. They all have got together and they say this is not that panicky state for us to close down the school. It is not. I gave you some numbers and the figures. It is all there in that letter. It is not required. If it is required, sure, we will. Is it required? Have faith in the country, in your health bodies, in those who are interested in you and the country and the political leaders. By the way, the political leader in Maharashtra state had recommended yesterday's end of the meeting that for 9 days let's close down the schools. But these child protections right people and the health, they were 6 of each member. They come to an absolute no doubt conclusion, only advisory protections to be taken. The word they've used is advisory. I've got that letter from them. So, tell them, have faith. He's going to be at home, no? Maid is going to come home. Is the maid doing the same thing in everybody's home with the sanitizer? Possibly not. Even if she is done, let's say her husband is infected. Let's say. Her husband may not know, may know, has used her mobile, and that mobile is now with her, and that mobile maybe your son is going to touch it. Is he going to come or no? It stays for 10 days on any plasticky surface, on cloth for 7 days. You get my point? So there is a Chinese emperor, his son was playing, I told you all this story some time back. He was playing in the normal ground and his foot stuck against a stone and he started bleeding. Emperor's son's toe is bleeding, everybody went running and carried the ball and something great, something had happened. The emperor looked, he also got very angry. He said, how dare, who has done this? He said, the earth has done it. That stone, that one has done it. What did he say? He said, covered the whole earth by leather so that my son's foot will not get stuck. So his prime minister came, gave us adequate pause and said, sir, may I suggest something? He said, yeah, tell me, what is it? He said, sir, instead of covering the whole earth, why don't we cover your son's foot? And that's how the shoes came into being. So it's your attitude. There's a shoe company sent a salesman to Africa. Go and see what are the opportunities for us to open a branch and make shoes over there. He sent a message, everybody wears shoes over here, there is no opportunity here. And he came back. Company, the head said, no, something is wrong. Okay, he sent another guy. This guy went and he said, how soon can you start? Nobody wears shoes, all we have to teach them how to wear a shoe. That's it, to become aware, it's a requirement. You have a nice day. Thank you.